Welcome home with Adrienne Michelle. I am Adrienne, and in today's video we are going to be decorating inside my kitchen. There is this space back here behind my sink, and I've never really known what to do with it. I set some things back there here and there, but they've never really been my favorite. So today we are going to try to remedy that. I want to try to see if I can come up with something that I can put back there that I actually like and will stick with this time. So let's get started with the video. Okay, and we are going to start off with a base for our centerpiece. And this basket, honestly, I have no idea where I got this from because I've had it for a while. Either it was gifted to me from my mother or it was thrifted from one of our local thrift stores for a little to nothing. But I love it. I use it just about everywhere. It serves perfectly for what I'm going for here, which is a layered look. So this is our first layer. We're just going to set this here, and it's going to serve as the base for the next step. Okay, next we are going to add in a wreath that I purchased from Hobby Lobby for about $14.99, I think, but I do know it was 50% off. And we're just going to add that to the basket right down at the bottom to soften it up and to add some texture in another layer. Next, what I am going to do is right in the center of the wreath is I'm going to add this cake stand, I guess you could call it, or a pedestal, whichever one you prefer. It's really pretty. I purchased this, I do believe it was off of Poshmark for little to nothing, honestly. And I'm going to place it in the center, but it's just so cute. I like the detail. The top of it is almost like metal, but it doesn't look metal. And then the base is that wooden base. But I'm going to actually not add it quite to the center of the wreath. It looks like it's in the center, but it's slid over to the side a little bit. And you'll see why I did that later on. So the top of that cake stand was looking a little bare, and I went ahead and added this cute little Easter bunny and egg that I purchased from TJ Maxx. I purchased this right around the time that the COVID outbreak was going on, but everything had started to slowly open back up, and TJ Maxx had this for 75% off. So I literally paid dollars for this thing, and I want to say it was around $5 for this thing, and it is so adorable. But he sits perfectly up there on top of the cake stand. Also, another TJ Maxx find was this adorable little bunny plate for $4.99, and yes, I did get this for 75% off as well. So again, I paid little to nothing for this, but I wanted to use it as a pop of color, but you'll see later on in the video that this plate kind of disappears. It was a lot of whites going on for me, and I wanted to keep it a little bit on the darker side. Alright, and the bottom is looking a little dark to me, so I wanted to add in a little pop of color to brighten things up. So I'm going to add in this floral pick here that I got from Hobby Lobby, and yes, it was 50% off. I typically don't buy them unless they are, but we're going to add them to the base and just kind of spread them out around the base of the cake stand so that they are dispersed evenly. And off to the other side, I have added that little wire cloche that you saw in the previous clip, along with a flameless flickering candle. I got that as a set off of Amazon. They are on timers, so they work really well. The cloche was still looking a little empty, so I just wanted to add a pop of green to it as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of moss and add it to the bottom of the candle, and then put the closure back on top. Here we are going to add some of the grapevine spears in that I found. These were a thrifted find, y'all. I found them at a local thrift store, and they came in a vase as a filler. So I have quite a few of them, but I only want to use a handful of them in this arrangement, just to add a little bit of texture, some interest, and to break up some of the florals and the greenery that we see here. And I think it turned out pretty cute. But I do want to turn my attention to the opposite side of this cloche right here. There is a gap, and I will be filling that with a little bit of greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby. And obviously, I am not going to stop there, as you will see in just a minute. And here's that other element I'm adding. I told you I wasn't going to stop there at the greenery. I just have a few of these picks. I think I got these from At Home, actually. And I just broke them off of the stems and just placed a few, scattered a few here and there. I just wanted just a little pop in there other than the purples and the greens. Just added another little texture and another layer. I can't remember. I want to say that those picks were actually $2.99 and I got them for 50% off, y'all. So make sure you go when the items are 50% off. I cannot stress it because those florals do add up relatively quickly. Although $2.99 honestly is not a bad price, but when you can get it for 50% off, it's even better. I am giving my piece a once over, and I'm noticing that at the top there is a lack of color. So to solve that problem, what I'm going to do is bring in some color by adding a little bit of moss. A little bit can go a long way. We're just going to add it around the base of the egg and the bunny itself. And there it is. And already it just feels better. It's not so stark, and it softens it up a little bit, and it just makes the piece look a bit more cohesive to me. Here I am actually going to replace the bunny plate that I had with this floral print that I picked up from Poshmark of all places, y'all. It came in a set of 3, and you'll probably see that set later on, but it looks so much better to me, and it just flows more with the piece and the centerpiece itself. And I want to say I got that set for maybe $12 off Poshmark, so don't sleep on stuff like Poshmark and Mercari. They don't sell just clothes, they sell home items too, and very pretty, very durable pieces. I also got that cake stand from Poshmark, as a matter of fact, for about $14. really have to look in there. I've just tucked in some pieces of moss into the arrangement down below, just again to fill in some of the gaps, add a little bit more texture to the piece, and just adds a little bit more of a realistic touch to me. That's just my opinion, y'all. Some may look at it and still say, oh, it looks fake, but in my opinion, it makes it look just that much more realistic. And as you can see down below, I did add a wooden artichoke. That came in a set of 2, and I got that also from Poshmark. I'm telling you, y'all, don't sleep on Poshmark. And I want to say I only paid about, it was either $6 or $9 for the set. So it was really pretty, really pretty. And she had a lot of pretty finds in her closet, as they call it on Poshmark. So I just added that down below. It just like it was missing a little something to me, honestly. So I just added that little piece right down there below the little flower print. And here are the finished results. I think it turned out pretty well, pretty nice. And I want to comment because I recorded that later the previous day, probably right around dinner time, right before dinner time, actually. So the sun was starting to set. So if the lighting looks a little off, that's probably why I threw out the video. But I came down the next morning and I was so happy when I saw it. So I think that's the first thing that I've actually sat back there that I actually really like. It just filled in the space really, really well. And I'm very, very happy with it. I'm pleased. It turned out probably better than I anticipated it turning out. I kind of went into it not really knowing what I wanted to do. But I just kind of fiddled around with it till I got it just right. And that's all a part of decorating. so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Also, don't forget to click subscribe and your bell notifications so that you can be notified of all the latest content when it's available.